Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca and today I am doing a book tag, the end of the year book tag that was created by Ariel Bissett. I'll have all of the information for the tag in the description box. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the questions. The first question is, are there any books that you've started this year that you need to finish? And the answer is yes. We're not going to talk about House of Leaves, but a book that I have to finish in the next 2 weeks, For the Wolf by Hannah Whitten. I'm reading this with my book club, and I've been putting it off. So yeah, I need to finish this. This book is a Red Riding Hood, Beauty and the Beast retelling is what I've heard, where the two princesses, the firstborn is the queen, or she's going to become the queen, and then the secondborn is for the wolf, so she's a sacrifice for the wolf in this world where there's magic and things happened in the past where they have to sacrifice someone to the woods, and it's about the second daughter. And I know that there is a sequel to this one about the first daughter, so I'm really excited to keep reading it. So far I do like it. It's a little bit bloody, so if you are triggered by blood, definitely be careful. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. The next question is, do you have any autumnal books to transition you into the fall or the end of the year? It's already fall, so kind of late for that. But I have two books. One I'm currently reading with my other book club, and then one I'm excited to read soon. First, the book that I'm reading with my other book club is The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. This is just a collection of his stories, and I'm a little less than halfway through it. I do feel like it's the perfect book to transition into the end of the year, when it's starting to get darker and a bit moodier, just because, you know, they're mysteries. So far, it's just okay. The first two were not my favorite. They were kind of boring, but I feel like, I don't know if it was meant to be published in this way, but they're kind of like picking up as you go on. So yeah, I'm happy to be reading this right now because I'm not a fan of like most mysteries and thrillers that are published today, just because I feel like they're all the same. So this is interesting, and I kind of like this for the same reason why I like the Agatha Christie Hercule Poirot series, because he uses a lot of logic and like puzzles. So that's what I really like about this. And the other book that I will be reading to transition into the autumnal spirit is the Tea Dragon Tapestry by Katie O'Neill. This is the third book in the Tea Dragon graphic novel series. These are children's books, but they're absolutely adorable. I love the artwork, and I love tea, and tea dragons are so cute. I highly recommend these, and this cover just like screams fall to me, so I highly recommend. I'm so excited to read this. The next question is there a new release you're still waiting for? And I can honestly not think of a single one. I've been like looking like at new releases that are coming out, and I'm like, none of these books are really speaking to me. The one book that came out in like September is like my main excitement for this year for new releases. So other than that, I don't really have any. The next question is, what are 3 books that you want to read before the end of the year? First, of course, would be that new release that I was talking about that I have not read yet. That is Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. I'm so excited to read this. Again, another whimsical cover. I love it. I also just, I'm so excited to keep reading more TJ Klune because I love his romances. They're so sweet. So yeah, I'm super excited about this one. If you don't know anything about it, it's about a man who, I guess he dies, and then the Grim Reaper comes to take him away, and he's given 1 week to cross over, and so he decides in those 7 days to live his life. I'm really excited for this one. I hope that it is as good as The House in Cerulean Sea, although I'm not really comparing it. I've heard that it's not quite as good, but I don't really trust other people's reviews, so I'm still really excited to read this book. Another book that I'm really excited to read before the end of the year is Actor Age Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. I'd really like to just finish out the series, and I've heard very mixed reviews. Some people say this is their favorite of the series so far. Other people I've heard say they don't like it at all. I'm very interested in reading it. I also love that she has like pink purple hair. So yeah, I'm excited to read this soon. If you don't know about the Brown Sisters trilogy, it follows each sister in the series, and they all have adorable romances. The second book, Take a Hint, Dani Brown, has been my favorite thus far. The hero in the second book, Zaf, is like my favorite romance hero that I've read this year. So I'm excited to keep reading in the series. And then another book that I'd really like to get to before the end of the year is Flock by Kate Stewart. People are going crazy about this book on TikTok specifically, and I've seen a lot of people are like really emotional about it, and it's been a while since I've cried while reading, so I really want to read a very emotional book. Now I don't know that it's going to be the emotions that I'm looking for, but we'll see. I'm really excited to read it. I also have absolutely zero idea about what this book is about. Like, I could not even tell you. I have no idea. The next question is there a book that you think could shock you and become your favorite book of the year? Now, this book I won't say would be my favorite book of the year, but it might be a favorite book of the year, and it's quite shocking. I don't know. I really don't know how I'm going to feel about this book, so I'm really interested to see where it goes. So I recently read The Cruel Prince and the Wicked King by Holly Black. I did not like The Cruel Prince. It was meh. The Wicked King, though, whew, I read that in like 2 days listening to the audiobook, and the ending kind of just blew my mind, and I was just like immediately like, I need to talk with someone about this. So really liked the second book. So the third book, The Queen of Nothing, I think could be a favorite of the year. I really don't know though. This is going to be one that just, we'll see. I don't know which way it's going to go. I know specifically what's going to happen between the two main characters. Like, I know they're going to. Anyway, so I know that, and I'm okay with that, but I just don't know how the rest of it's going to pan out. This series is super political, which I'm not a huge fan of, especially because, like, that's pretty much all that it is. It's all, like, politics and, like, how this family kind of relates to each other, kind of. But, like, it's so politically heavy, and I'm not a fan of that, but it's just, like, it's still so freaking good. And if you don't know what the Cruel Prince series is about, it's about these two, well, it's about Jude, our main character, and she has a twin. And in the very beginning of the Cruel Prince, we learn that their parents are murdered by a Fae general, and then the Fae general kind of takes them in because now he feels responsible for them and kind of like takes care of them as their father. And so these two human girls, they're twins, they grow up in the Fae world, and they kind of have to learn how to be Fae and how to fit in, and if they even don't want to fit in, like what they can do. And it's just a lot of, in the first book, learning about the world and how they fit in, but the rest of the first book and the second book are very politically heavy, so I'm really interested to see where this goes. I did not like our main character in the first book at all. She grew on me in the second one, so hopefully it's the same in the third one. And then the last question is, have you already started making plans for reading in 2022? And heck yes. I'm always thinking about what I'm gonna do next. I've already gotten my next reading journal, which I'm really excited to use. I'll have a video about that eventually. And then I'm also trying to think of what kind of challenges I want to do. I think because I have been so into romance this year, I might try to find some like best of 2021 romances, like lists, and then try to read all of them. Maybe. We'll see. I'm not entirely sure about that. We'll see about that. But I'm trying to think of challenges because I know the ones that I've set for myself this year I'm not completing, and I'm not even going to try to anymore. So we will see what happens, what challenges I'm setting. I'm also know already that next year I'm planning on reading all of Christina Lauren's books. They are my favorite romance authors, and I want to do a reread of all of their books. Just kind of have more like definitive ranking. I have a video of my tier ranking of all of their romance novels, but I want to be more fair in my judgment and have them all reread. And of course, I mean, I'm still gonna have my favorites, but we'll see if any of them have changed. So I'm really, really excited to do that because they're my favorite romance authors and I love a lot of their books. I'm so excited. Other reading plans for next year. I don't know that I'm gonna set any challenges for reading classics or reading books that I own because I have failed miserably at those two challenges this year. And I think mainly I'm just going to try to focus on reading what I want and not being influenced by others to read things that I'm like not as interested in, like the internet mainly, about what's popular, and like trying to force myself to read something that I'm not necessarily into. So yeah, those are the plans for next year. So that is the tag. I will have all of the questions in the description box if you would like to reply to any of them in the comments. I would love to know your answers. Specifically, I want to know if you have an answer for, is there a book you think that might take you by surprise and be a favorite of the year that you haven't read yet? I'd really love to know. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye.